Hey, what's up, friends? It's Ken, and I'm back again for another amazing adventure. Today on the show, I've managed to bamboozle Robby Blanchard to join me just in a minute. Now, Robby Blanchard has got an amazing story. Literally 7 years ago, a gym owner, then into a Facebook ads agency, then the number one affiliate in the world with ClickBank, making millions of dollars. He's helped hundreds of people to get to $1,000 a month in affiliate marketing income. And we're going to get started with him just after this. So the big question is this: how is a tiny percentage of entrepreneurs blow the pack away? What are they doing that we're not? I asked myself that question for 10 years. I was failing forward and getting sick of it. I wanted to build a coaching business, but couldn't make any headway. So I started studying it. I realized that the world's most elite marketers, entrepreneurs, and gurus were all using the same 4-step system. I call it the authority factor. On the show, I'm going to prove to you that the authority factor worked for them and it'll work for you. My name is Ken Dunn. Let's get started. Hey guys, I'm glad to introduce you to my friend Robby Blanchard. Robby, come on, jump on here with us. How you doing, my friend?
Hey Ken, how's it going, my friend?
Good to see you. Whereabouts are you today?
I'm just in Massachusetts right now, and just about 40 minutes outside of Boston. I live in a little small town, and I split my time between here and Florida. But right now I'm in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I've seen that antics in Florida lately. I imagine you're driving back and forth now with everything we're going through.
No, I'm still flying, man. I'm still going for it. Yeah, for sure. So I can't do a road trip that far. I have to do a flight.
Hey, listen, I've been telling everybody in the community a lot about the story, and we had a chance to talk just before we got onto the show here. Yeah. I want to start right at the beginning with you. I think it's worth everybody understanding that, when we hear Robby Blanchard and we hear about affiliate marketing, obviously the two names are synonymous now. You're making millions of dollars a month between everything that you're doing. But it's fascinating to think that 7 years ago, you were a gym owner and you didn't have a clue about Facebook advertising. Walk us through the story.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. Like, it wasn't on purpose, to be honest with you. Like, I just pinch myself when I see where I am today. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, so basically I started as a gym owner. I went to school in college for exercise and sports science, got my MBA, started working at a regular gym, and I was just like, this is not for me. I don't like being told what to do, and I don't like, being an employee. So start my own business. And so I started as a personal trainer, going to people's houses. And then that turned into owning a boot camp business, and that turned into owning a CrossFit gym. So then, it got to the point where, I saw that, having a CrossFit gym is awesome. It's great and everything, but, really to live the life that I want to live and to, be able to, retire, the way that I want to retire, I'm like, man, I have to do something a little bit different. And so the only thing that could really, go in my head was like, I got to start an online business somehow, because I knew that people that I followed in the industry, in the fitness industry, that had an online business, they were having success. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll try that. So I joined a mastermind back then. That was in 2015, I believe it was, and I joined a mastermind and I created my first product. My product was on ClickBank, and so it was called Dominate Your Double Unders. So I don't know if anyone's familiar with CrossFit, but a double under is a CrossFit movement. It's a jump rope movement. It's 2 swings per jump of the jump rope, and I put it together because I knew that everybody in my gym was struggling with it because they never practiced it, and I knew if I put together a program, hey, maybe they'll actually do it and learn. So I created the product, went to the mastermind, and basically. Nobody would promote my product. So that was a huge bummer because I paid a lot of money to be part of the mastermind. The reason why they wouldn't promote it was because it was a skill-based program, and everybody had a big email list that was geared towards weight loss, right? So there was no connection. So I got super bummed out, and I ended up just running some Facebook ads that same day when I left the mastermind. First day I ran the ads, I got 3 sales, and pretty much the rest is history. Yeah.
Wow. But you didn't become the number. What I didn't realize before is you didn't become the number one affiliate in ClickBank. Like that wasn't the next step. You actually went into the agency world first.
Yeah. So essentially kind of what happened was, I started running, for that product, the Dominate Double Unders product first. And I started, doing a couple $100 a day in sales with that on Facebook. And then, which to me at the time was like, I'm
life-changing.
And honestly, that first sale is like, there's something so special about that, where it's like, wow, somebody in the world who I don't know clicked on my ad, and bought, and I made money. Like I'm like, wow, if I can do that once, I can definitely do that a couple thousand times, you know? So yeah, so I started promoting my product, and then I started to promote other people's products on ClickBank. So I kind of figured out that people are better than me at creating products that convert. And so I said, well, I'm pretty, I can just run ads to their stuff. And so, I started to do that, and I started to make, hundreds per day, and then thousands per day. And then, I started to show up on like the leaderboards of like affiliate contests and stuff. And then people started to reach out to me saying, Robby, like, how are you doing this? Do you have a big email list? And I'm like, no, I don't have an email list. I just use Facebook. And then people would be like, well, can you run ads for my stuff? And I said, sure. Like, well, how much do you charge? I don't know. So, so I'm like, well, it'll be this much, And then that kind of evolved into, kind of having an agency of, at the time I built it up to about 30 clients, and that's kind of how I was doing it, and just running ads for people. And I had a team and everything. And, but, I liked it, but I didn't love it. Right. And so
30 bosses.
Yeah. I had basically 30 bosses, like, kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for me, Ken, was that, it'd be like a Saturday. Right. And I love to play golf. Like, I'm a big golfer. Love to play golf. It's my favorite thing to do. And I would get text messages from my clients, like being like, hey, I need you to go and fix this and do this. And like, finally I'm like, that's it. I'm not, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go back to, really focusing on affiliate marketing for my stuff, And so that's what kind of happened. And so I made the shift, and, I'll never forget. It was in December of 2018. And I remember I was running affiliate stuff, and Facebook, they did a big sweep, and they made some changes to their policies. And I had my Facebook account shut down. I had all my business managers shut down, my profile shut down. I was dead in the water, right? And I was still running some agency stuff at the time, and everything was dead in the water. And so, that was kind of a stressful week or two. And then, so I ended up getting some things back on. And then in January, January 2019, ClickBank had a big affiliate contest. And so, I went from being completely down, not running any ads, till to the end of January, become number one. Like, I ended up just, I did over, I think it was $981,000 in sales in January, and ended up winning the contest. Yeah. So, which goes to show that things can turn around fast if you stick with it.
So there's a lot of critics out there. Hey, listen, and I see people are starting to tune into this now. If you've got any questions for Robby Blanchard, I mean, there are not many people on this planet that understand affiliate marketing in as much detail as he does. So if you want to ask questions, just go ahead into the chat and do that. The critics, Robby, you and I have both been hit by them crazy. And the critic is going to say, well, if you're making $500,000 to $1 million a month in affiliate marketing, why launch a commission hero? Well, like, why do that? You're just trying to take more money, is what they'll say. But what's your side of the story? Where did commission hero come into the play?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I do get, literally, people ask me that all the time. And, it doesn't bother me when people ask me that. I think that, for me personally, my answer is that, I'm a big believer that if you have a skill, if you have something that you can teach other people that's going to change their life, you're selfish not to share it, And I think that, it just goes back to when I was a gym owner, right? Like, growing up, I was a skinny kid. I'd get pushed into lockers in high school. I'd get picked on. I didn't have a lot of confidence. I started working out, put on some muscle, had confidence. And then, so basically what I did was I said, hey, if I can change my life with fitness, like, I want to help other people do that. So that got me down the path of being a personal trainer, a gym owner, and everything, right? And so the same thing happened when I created Commission Hero, is that, I became number one on ClickBank. And actually, to tell you the truth, Ken, I had Commission Hero. It wasn't called Commission Hero, but the whole course was done about a year and a half prior to releasing it.
Wow.
But I never released it, because I guess I was kind of suffering from that, like, imposter syndrome of like, oh, am I good enough to release this or teach this? And so, I made a deal with myself when the contest happened. I said, if I become number one and I win the contest, that's the only way I'll release this course, right? Because if I'm number 7, there's people better than me. I'm not going to teach it, right? So, so I ended up winning, and I released it. So, and I'm a big believer too, Ken, that, like, at the end of the day, like, to get what you want in life, you have to help as many people get what they want in life. And so that's the reason why I work so hard with Commission Hero. Like, we're coming up on 7,000 students in the course and growing. And and that's awesome. And so, I just think like if I hadn't got out of my comfort zone and put together the course and done it, like that's 7,000 people that wouldn't have had the opportunity to be where they are, because there's some crazy success stories in the course, like people having, their first $100 day, their first $1,000 day, some students getting $20,000 in a day, some people, having been laid off because of everything going on in the world, and now they're not going back to the job, not because of anything, just because they're making more money with Commission Hero. So, that's my reason. And then at the end of the day, I think like for the people that say like, well, why not just, do affiliate marketing? Why create a course too? Like, well, who says I can't do both? At the end of the day, it's my life, and I'm going to do it on my terms,
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Well, one of the things I really like about the entire Commission Hero community is, first of all, in the world of course creating,
Mhm.
the dirty little secret is we all know for the most part that for every 100 people that buy your course,
Mhm.
50 to 60% of them aren't even going to start it. They're just going to buy it, and they don't, some of them don't even create passwords.
For sure.
But your program has such remarkable success levels in it that, and you see them right on the outside. Like for anybody that's interested in seeing the entry level to Robby's program, in the notes for this show, there's a link you can click on. It'll take you to the landing page just for the webinar. And it's filtered with success stories. Like you have to realize how much more than the average your success results in your program is.
Yeah, it's pretty humbling. Like I'm very blessed to be able to help so many people out, and I think the reason why is because I didn't create the course to my main goal wasn't to make money with it. It was just I want to help people, and like I'm literally in the Facebook group we have as part of the course. Like I'm in there every single day, like personally answering questions. And I know there's a lot of people that have courses that you join a course and like where'd the owner go? He's not here.
Exactly.
So that's one thing. And the other thing I kind of brought into it too is like the sense of community, and that was something I learned, owning my CrossFit gym, because with CrossFit, like, one of the big things is like you have that community, like you're all in this together, like you're all going towards that common goal, like you push each other. And so I really tried to bring that type of culture into the course, and that's really why we've had so much success. And the other reason why is because success is contagious. People, I see so many people that will get their first $1,000 day and they'll post it in the group, and then but they don't just post it to brag. They say, hey, I got my first $1,000 day, and here's what I learned, and here's what I did. And so
here's all the accounts that got shut down.
They're really paying it forward. And so, and that's literally the only reason why, Commission Hero's grown to where where it's going, and it's not stopping, is because, people are getting results. At the end of the day, that's it. Like that's the results just to speak for themselves. Yeah.
What do you say to the skeptic? So we talked about the skeptic that's criticizing you because you're succeeding in it, and then now you're teaching it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is an age-old adage, and maybe this doesn't even belong in our conversation, but I feel for everybody. I really do. Yeah. And I almost feel the worst for the guy that is just been beaten up so much in life that he's negative about everything. Yeah. And he doesn't even believe. He thinks like the whole idea of affiliate marketing is illegitimate. It's not real. Mm-hmm. What do you say to that guy? How do you or do you even try to?
I mean, I basically, for me personally, like, because I get a lot of messages. I get a lot of people that will, there's always haters. I think if you're, if you don't have haters, I don't think you're
not succeeding.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. Like, at the end of the day, like not everyone's going to like me. Like I do my best to get people to like me. I feel like I'm a pretty likable guy, but like, that's fine. I understand. And, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, like I just, I always say like to them, like, hey, listen, like if you ever change your mind, if there's anything I can do to help, like, let me know. Like I have, you have people that will kind of reach out to you and just kind of, talk trash or whatever. And I think that at the end of the day, like, hurt people. And so I think that's something where it's like, I just know if someone is negative toward me, it's usually not because they're negative, they're negative at me. It's because something else is going on. Right. So, and I realize that, and I understand that. And so, but yeah, and it's one of those things where people have to get out of their own way. I think you have to get out of your own way. And if you think you can, then you can do it. If you think you can't, then you can't. That's just kind of the way it is.
I think that's, as you were just after you said that, hurt people.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if I'd ever heard that before, and I don't think I have. Is that a Robbie Blanchard original or what?
I don't know, it might be. Yeah, but yeah, hurt people hurt people.
That's strong. No, that's absolutely strong. The other side of this whole thing is that I think the other thing people have a hard time wrapping their heads around is that it's really simple. The offers are already provided. And with ClickBank specifically, what I think one of the things that I like about ClickBank and why I bought your program and I got into your one-on-one coaching, which I have no problem telling the world that, the ClickBank, and I don't know if this is the same on other platforms, but the people that run the offers, the vendors, there's a couple of them that are freaking exceptional at building video sales letters, at building the offer. How do you know a good offer from a bad offer inside of the community, inside of your community or inside of ClickBank? Like, how do you help your students with that part? Because you can choose the wrong offer really easily.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the big, well, two things. I think that's I quickly realized that there are people out there that are really good at creating offers, like you said, right? And so I realized, early on, like I tried to create my own offers. Like, I mean, I'm not great at that, right? Creating like an info type product. And so I realized that. And so I'm so glad that I shifted just to the affiliate, like just sending traffic to that. Like let them do heavy lifting, let them do the inventory, the customer service. I'll just take my commission and go. But yeah, I mean, really the best way to learn, honestly, is just going into the marketplace and searching by popularity. That's the best way to do it. And honestly, I don't try to, I mean, my research is I hit the search button and I just go to the first page or two. And if I know it's on page 1 or page 2 in the marketplace, without a doubt, it's gonna work and it's gonna convert. You don't have to, and this is another thing I see a lot of people say is, hey, Robby, like, well, what if like 500 people are promoting this offer at the same time? Like, isn't it going to be saturated? And the answer is no. There's no there's no such thing as saturation. Like, Facebook is a very, very big place. I mean, there's hundreds of millions of people in those niches. Like, there's more than enough room for everybody, and that's why, and that's the other reason why I was more than happy to share what I do with affiliate marketing, because there's literally room for everybody. It's a really, really big place. Yeah. But,
now, being really successful, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in anything means you have to master it. Correct. And there's detailed skills in any business in the world that you have to master. In the affiliate marketing world, like if somebody's going to make that big money, they're going to have to get really comfortable around specific technologies and ideas and tracking systems. And we were talking before the show that, obviously sometimes some people come into the community and you almost wonder if they have the right temperament for it. Mm-hmm. But what's really interesting is I've seen people in your community that, like, if I would have met them on a street, I would have said, there's no way in the world that person will ever, they don't have the mind for this. There's no way they'll succeed. Yep. But somehow they still figure it out. Like, how do you explain that?
Yeah, well, I think it's just here's why, because I think it's very similar to like learning a language. Like, so, for example, I can speak Portuguese very well. And the reason why I can speak Portuguese is because, well, my girlfriend's Brazilian. And so, and part of learning that is like when if you want to learn a language, you have to become immersed in it, right? Like that's, like if you were to transplant yourself into Brazil and spend, 6-7 months there, guess what? At first, you're not going to speak Portuguese very well, but you're going to be forced to do it. You're going to learn how to do it, and you're going to eventually speak it, right? And so it's the same thing when someone comes into Commission Hero, where it's like, like maybe they've had no experience before, maybe they tried things in the past, maybe they have a negative mindset, right? And then they come into the group with 7,000 people that are all trying to do the same thing. They all are headed in the same direction. They're all pumping each other up. As you know, I do a ton of mindset stuff inside the course. Like, if you're committed to it, like you're going to become immersed in it, and eventually you're going to just get in line and follow it to success. So I think that's the big key. And I think as long as people kind of get out of their comfort zone and just get out of their own way, I think that there's so much success. And we have some students that literally had never done anything online, and they're doing really, really significant numbers too. And the other thing too, I think, Ken, is that, as long as people don't reinvent the wheel, I think a lot of times where, people join a course or they start a program or something, and they're like, oh, this is great. Like, Robby's teaching it this way. Well, I'm going to try to do it this way. Like, no, don't try to do it that way. Like, do it this way. This is why you're in the course. There's a reason why I put this together. So, that's the thing. Because I think, unfortunately, a lot of times too, Ken, is that a lot of times people join a course and they think that there's something missing. Like there's almost like a little piece that's not in there.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You kind of have that little like with my course, like there's nothing missing. It's all in there. I gave you everything. And that's probably why people are getting more results too, because I didn't hold anything back. Yeah.
So I was just thinking about that guy, with, and obviously this is going to become evergreen and people are going to watch this for years to come. But right now we're stuck in the middle of this pandemic. And I'm thinking about this guy that, has gotten laid off or has lost his job. And he comes to me and he says, I got $1,000 left. I need to make money. What should I do with it? I would literally send him right to your landing page and say, this is the right way to do that. But at the same time, for us to say that somebody could join Commission Hero, put in a couple hours a week and start making money, I don't think that's fair to them. No. I think we need to be really honest with them. But if somebody is, let's say they're pretty proficient around Facebook. They've never ran an ad. They don't have a business manager, but they've got a really good understanding. They know what all the buttons do, and they've never had any trouble with any technologies.
Yeah.
What's that look like for them when they first get started? Say they want to be at $1,000 a month in 2 months at the end of 60 days and going forward.
Yeah.
Or $1,000 a day, I should say $1,000 a month. Sure. No, let's start at $1,000 a month.
Yeah, sure.
What does their daily activity look like? What are they going to need to do?
Yeah, I think the first thing that people need to do, and I say this all the time, is anytime you join a course, whether it's my course or any course, like the first thing you do is like go through the entire like curriculum, everything. Like don't even try to run an ad, don't even try to do anything until you understand everything in the course. Like at least go through it once or twice. I think that the most successful students I have in the course are the people that have literally like they'll spend the first like 2 or 3 weeks like just going through the course like 2 or 3 times, like understand the concepts, then they start to go. As I always say inside Commission Hero, slow is fast because literally that's the thing. Because the one mistake a lot of people make is they join, they watch one video and they're like, oh, I'm gonna start running ads right now, and then they go and then they end up doing a silly mistake or they mess up. And so the key is you have to start slow. Like it's almost like you have to be like kind of like a like a slingshot where like you got to pull back and then when you do that, then you're going to launch forward. But you have to like pull back and go through all the course for it first. And then when you do that, you're going to be able to accelerate your results. It's possible to get to $1,000 a day in 30 days. Obviously you can't guarantee that, but we've had students do it. But yeah, but the number one takeaway is you have to go through the entire thing. You have to understand the full, you have to see the big picture first. Yeah.
And you've got this inner circle. It's a subscription. It's a couple $100 a month, which the first time I heard of it, I jumped into it. What I love about that is how you said it already, how into that community you are, a couple hours every Wednesday, you're answering questions every single day. I don't know if I've ever seen a program where the chances of success are as high as it is in the Commission Hero program.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the inner circle. I mean, every Tuesday I do a call. I mean, we do 4 live calls a week in there, but I mean, I'm on there 3 hours on my call at least. Sometimes we got to one day, I think we were at 4 hours and 20 minutes. I said, okay, we're gonna go at 3 hours there. But the cool thing is like, I mean, literally, for me personally, I try to lead by example, and I never will give a student or tell a student to do something that I haven't done personally. So, if I'm putting in the effort, if I'm finding the time to answer every single person's questions in the group and be there for 3 hours, like, that I think that leads by example. So then people say, well, Robby's putting in the work and Robby's investing in me. So like, I gotta invest in myself, so, and not let myself down. So that's really what it comes down to. I think at the very least, if I can hold up my end of the bargain and just give you everything I can to help you be successful, then I think that's going to increase your chances of success.
So where you're at now,
they,
in the whole authority world that all of a sudden, bam, you're right in the middle of in the last 2 years, the biggest mistake I've seen people making is when they're scaling their businesses, they start to go too wide. They create too many products.
Yeah.
And I see, we were talking before about a couple of things you have coming down the pipe. Tell me what is going through your mind right now as an authority. You're starting to get the front end of the success. That you have the potential to create. In scaling your business, what kind of thoughts are you dealing with, and what kind of challenges are you facing?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny you asked me that, because that's a great question. Because when you start to get to a level, kind of a level where I'm at, where it's an 8-figure business, and then it's growing and growing and scaling, and it's like, now you kind of, you have the thoughts of like, well, should I create another product? Should I, go a different route? Should I do this thing? Should I do that thing? Like, and I would advise against that. I think that at the end of the day, like, I think you should go narrow and deep on one thing. Like, as long as it's a market that you can, really, really expand. Like, I mean, honestly, Ken, I don't think we've even hit the tip of the iceberg with what we can do with Commission Hero. And so, and I think that's the thing. The other thing too, I think is just, just being passionate about it too. So, we did a launch for Commission Hero in March of earlier this year. And so I'm in the process of getting ready for 2021 because I want to do like one launch a year. And so I was actually in the process of like putting a different name to it and doing some other stuff with it. Wow. And I just, I was spending like probably about 2 weeks just like, one slide here on the webinar, and it just wasn't flowing, right? It wasn't clicking. So, I scrapped that, and I'm like, what, this is crazy. Like, we're gonna stick with Commission Hero, and that's and just stay with it, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So, yeah. So I think for anyone out there, like I think you got to be passionate about it first. You got to believe in it, and I think also too, like, if you want, it's all about momentum too. I think momentum is so important for people, especially with success, and that's one of the reasons why I always, I just get out of my comfort zone and speak at events, even though I'm very introverted, believe it or not, and do all these things, because like I know momentum is my friend, and if I can just keep that momentum going in the right direction, like really good things will happen.
Yeah, I know it's been really easy to introduce you to people, for sure. I mean, we're obviously speaking together at the big Les Brown, Brian Tracy event coming up. We're not officially announcing this until the 15th of September, but you're headlining with Grant Cardone in November. I mean, it's just getting bigger and bigger. How do you ground yourself? Because I know you are, and we've never ever mentioned this to each other before, but we have a lot of the same friends who are taking their money and they're buying jets and they're buying Bentleys. And I still see you driving this pickup truck, and I still see wood paneling behind you.
Yeah.
I'm also seeing 100 to 150 people a week getting welcomed into your core group.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What is it about you that isn't like you're not driving Ferraris and buying planes right now? Tell me that story.
No. I mean, at the end of the day, like growing up, my dad was always like, "Hey, like you have two things that you can keep: that your name and your reputation." And I think that, at the end of the day, and my dad also said there's no U-Hauls behind hearses, right? So, but like nobody, at the end of the day, like that's, for me personally, I just I am who I am. Like, I'm not trying to, like I don't think, my shit don't stink or anything like that. Yeah. That's kind of how I am. And I think for me, it's like, I always want to just stay humble and just because I'm very thankful. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just thankful to be here. Like, I'm just happy to be in the room. That's just kind of how I am. And so I knew that, for me, I just like to stay humble. And I also believe too, like you have to, because, the people you pass on the way up are the same people you're going to see on the way down. So, you have to remember that. And I also think too, like I always kind of picture myself as like an underdog. And I always kind of have that chip on my shoulder too, where it's, I think that, it's important to do that too, because I think The Rock has a thing where it's like the wolf is always scratching at the door. Yep. And so for me, that I always have that in my mind, where it's just like, okay, like this could all go away, in an instance. You never know, So, so I'm just happy to be here. I'm thankful, and I'm just keep pushing forward. But the one thing, Ken, that makes me happy the most is just helping as many people as possible. Like that's, if I can help someone get their first sale online, that to me that's why I do that. That's what wakes me up in the morning. It's not like, it's nice to have nice things and do it, nice experiences. But at the end of the day, like I think it's, making an impact, helping somebody out, like that's what it's all about. I think that's more important to me. Yeah.
How about the misnomer that the whole reason to build a big business like this and get super successful is that you can have like the super easiest life in the world. You could golf every day. You could sleep until 10. You don't have to work. Yeah. When you compare the amount of work and the amount of time you're putting in today versus, I don't know, any other period of time, you're working more or less today?
I think I'm working similar, probably the same. I definitely am working. I'm working different now, but I'm still working. Because I think that's the, now it's like, now it's still a grind for sure. Like I think you have to kind of enjoy the grind every single day. But yeah, I'm definitely working a lot smarter. I'm definitely Now it's more about not doing everything myself. It's, I have a team now, and that's kind of a nice thing, but it's working together with that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, like, people always kind of think with online, it's, they're going to be on their laptop on the beach, and that's not the case. I wouldn't anyways, because I would get a crazy sunburn, but but yeah, SPF 100 over here. But yeah, I think that at the end of the day, like, you have to love the journey. Like, you have to love. It's not about the destination. Like, it's just, you have to fall in love with the work, and I think that's one thing that I really enjoy. It's just like, it's just the work. I love doing it, because what else would I be doing? It's yeah, I mean, that's kind of my answer. I don't know if it's a good answer or not, but
no, it's exactly the right answer.
Yeah.
What somebody's getting into Commission Hero, they're starting down the journey. We kind of touched on pieces of it, but I'd love for you to kind of lay out, look, if you're going to be successful with Commission Hero and you're going to make $1,000 a day, it's these three things. It's these three areas. It's this is my core advice to you, like covering the whole gamut. So somebody's here right now and they jump into your program.
Yeah.
What's that core advice that they need to hear?
Yeah, I think the three main things I would say is, the first thing is you need to just follow the plan. I think that's the one thing is like, you have this roadmap, this treasure map, and you just have to follow along with it. I think that's the first thing. I think the second thing is you need to just choose one offer, choose a high converting offer, one of the top 4 or 5 offers on ClickBank, and stick with it. Don't hop from one offer to the other. Like, I think that a lot of people think to make more money online you have to do more things, and that's not true. You just have to do one thing and do it really well, or promote one offer and do it really well. And then the other thing too is just learn to look at your data. I think that's a big one that is super boring. It's not sexy at all, but you have to look at your numbers in Facebook, because it's not random. We're not pulling that slot machine and hoping for so the winning numbers. Like, we have to look at the data, and we have to react to the data. And once you do that, once you learn that, I mean, honestly, Ken, it's like having a superpower. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, one of my best days ever as an affiliate was about a little bit around $60,000 in a day, just as an affiliate. And it was, and that was on a Sunday. And I remember it was on a Sunday, and I remember I opened up my laptop maybe 5-10 minutes, and I watched Netflix throughout the whole day. and I was like, and I don't say that to brag or boast, but just to show you, like, once you learn a skill like Facebook, and once you start to do what we teach in Commission Hero, like, it's really set and forget. It's very front loaded, where it's like, your learning curve and setting up your campaigns are always kind of in the beginning, but after a while, once you get it going, like, it's just, you manage it. You look at your ads, for maybe 10-20 minutes, you make a couple tweaks, and then you're done. Like, that's kind of the way it works. Once you have a campaign that's really humming along,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, when you first get started, you're going to spend a lot of time in that first 30 to 60 days learning.
Yeah.
And when you first start getting those business managers set up, and you deal with your shutdowns, and you deal with restarting accounts and warming up accounts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But eventually it does get to that magic moment where you've got campaigns running, you go into the campaign and you shut down the ads that aren't hitting the mark, and you turn on new ads. Yeah. You know what? I just realized that you're a brilliant tactician, and I'm realizing this just sitting here with you right now, constantly reminding everybody about their attitude, because that's the big thing that makes the difference. Somebody's staring at their ad account, and they've had an ad that's been working for a few days, and then the last 3 or 4 days, it's not hitting the numbers at all, and they're actually negative ads.
Yeah.
If they're emotional about that, they're going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to leave that on for a couple more days. I want to see if that'll come back."
Yeah.
But you have a very specific discipline that has to be void of emotion.
Has to be. Yeah. There's no. There's no crying in Facebook ads, so you can't be emotional with this, because and that's because emotions get in the way. Like, it's, and frustration gets in the way. And it's like, I always tell people, like, I've never seen someone frustrate their way to success. Like, it just doesn't, it does the opposite. Like, it puts you in the wrong way. So, like, you have to treat it like obviously treat it like a business. You have to look at your data and react to the data. And that's it. Like, it's all about the data. Like, you can't fall in love with the images that you put for your ads. You can't fall in love with the offer. Like, either it's working or it's not. And so, and that's it. And once you learn to do that, and also once you learn to just focus on the big movers in the campaign, and not like the little things, like, like in Facebook, there's things like your relevant score or this or that, like
Frequency.
yeah, people would be shocked how much I don't look at because I just keep it as simple as possible. Hey, how much did I spend? How much did I make? Did I make more than I spent? Awesome. Let's keep doing this. I didn't. Okay, let's stop doing that. That's basically it. Yeah.
So the most of the people that follow our movement with the Authority Factory are people that are starting their own coaching businesses. We have students that are in every coaching modality you could possibly imagine, from piano teachers to life coaches.
Right.
And I'm curious, now that you're doing as well in the coaching business as you are in your core affiliate marketing business, if you're talking to somebody who's starting brand new, they've got the requisite experience, they've been doing it for a long time, they're just going down the road of monetizing that experience, what's your advice to them?
The best advice I would give is don't worry about trying to make money first. I think the best thing is get results for your client first, or your students, whatever you want to call them. That's the most important thing. Like at the end of the day, like if you get results, your program, your service, it's going to sell itself. Like I can't tell you how many times that people have come in just because of a success story from one of my students in Commission Hero. Like that's it. Like that's the formula. And it's just, like my email marketing, all I do in my email marketing every single day. It's like, hey, hey, Joe, like, I know that you're thinking about Commission Hero. I want to share this story about Susan. Susan just had her first $100 day today. Like, if Susan can do it, you can do. And I've literally been able to do that every single day for the last, 18 months or so since we started Commission Hero. And that's it. Like, the proof is in the pudding. I don't have to be like, because people just want results. At the end of the day, like, that's something I learned a long time ago, marketing my CrossFit gym, because, nobody, and I always say, like, nobody is like keeping themselves up at night saying, oh, if only I could learn how to do a clean and jerk, or if only I could learn how to do it. Everybody's saying, oh man, if only I could figure out how to lose weight, if only I could figure out how to have more confidence. Like that's you sell the vacation, you don't sell the plane ride.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's the same thing we do with in Commission Hero. You tell them, hey, this is the result. Like, you want to have more success, with your finance, great. Like, this is going to help you get there, and then show them how to do that, So same thing I would say with anybody, whether it's whether, like you said, piano teachers, or my mom was a piano teacher for a long time, so that's cool. I never played myself, but yeah, but just sell the result and then work backwards. And I think the other thing too is like, just go over and above, like, just serving your students and clients. Like, go the extra mile, because if you do that, like, you're literally never gonna, have any issues. I think that's a big one too. And it's going to differentiate yourself from everyone else, because I guarantee you, probably 90% of people are lazy and they're not going to do that with their course or whatever. So if you go the extra mile, you just care just a little bit more, like, you're going to have way more success.
One of the places we're totally on the same page. I'm so glad you just said that. You just alluded to the importance of testimonials, the importance of having other people singing your praises. You didn't say these exact words, but it almost felt to me like you were saying, right up front, don't worry about making money. Go help people for free. Get them singing your praises. Is that the type of idea you espouse to?
I think so. I think at the end of the day, like, because that's what's gonna get people interested. That's what's gonna get people excited. That's what's gonna get people want to do it, because it's you can tell. It's like, you can tell someone how great this thing is, or you can just like show them someone that got results from it. Like, that is the most frictionless thing right there. It's like, oh, this person got results. Okay, I want to do that. So yeah, and I think at the end of the day, like, a lot of people just in life, everyone wants things fast, right? Everyone wants, like, fast food and all this stuff. Like, they want everything instant. And so, sometimes success and making money isn't instant, but you have to build that foundation of getting results, because if you don't do that, you're not going to have a long-term business. It's, I think you have to, put in the work initially, get the results, get the testimonials, get the, get that, dialed in, and then go, release the hounds and go crazy and make as much money as you want, But we have to start in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, well, everybody that is seeing this YouTube show or hears the podcast later, you've now officially heard it. I've got a whole bunch of you guys that are in the Easier Life Academy, and you're running Facebook ads to the offers that we have at the Authority Factory. And now you know where I got addicted to affiliate marketing. It was right here in the Commission Hero program. I've been in Robby's one-on-one coaching. I'm going to be one of the first guys to sign up in his mastermind. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars learning from this guy. And if you truly want to master affiliate marketing and bring that income stream into your life, there's no program in the world like the Commission Hero. So get into the notes and click on that link and get yourself hooked up there. Robby, any final words you want to share with everybody today?
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is like, you just have to, get out of your own way. And I think you just have to make it happen. I think for me, like, the one thing that I learned, like when I first started my online journey, is I remember, when I joined this mastermind, I said to myself, like, oh my God, it's a lot of money. I don't want to do it. And then I said to myself, like, well, I'm just going to give myself a year. And if it works, awesome. If it doesn't work, at least I gave it a shot. I think it's better to fail than to do nothing. And I think that, that's the big thing. And I think you have to just keep at it. And I think a lot of people give up too fast, like when it comes to success. Like, you got to have that, like, that mentality that's just stubborn, just like get after it. Like, I think that's so important. I was actually reading an article, I think it was the other day, Ken, about this guy, I forget his name, but he invented the upside down ketchup bottle, right? So, the upside down ketchup bottle.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he invented it, and it took him 111 tries, right? Like to perfect it, right? Like, and we're talking about the most random thing that like nobody really cares about, an upside down ketchup bottle, right? It took him 111 times to get it right. He finally got it down. It took him, I think, whatever it was, a year and a half, 2 years to kind of perfect it. All those tries, he could have gave up after the first one, the fifth one, 10th one, but he didn't. He kept at it, got it going. And, I think he ended up selling his company to Heinz Ketchup for like $15 million, And so it just, just goes down. Like, you have to just keep at it. Like, if you have one failure, big deal. Like yeah, you haven't had enough failure yet. Keep at it.
Yeah.
Until you really hit it. So I think that's super important. I think it's also, the last thing I'll say is it's time under tension, right? Like the only time a muscle grows, I'm a fitness guy, so the only time a muscle grows is when it's under tension, So like, you have to just rep after rep, and that's what makes the muscle stronger, and that's what makes you more resilient. And so at the end of the day, guys, like, just keep at it. Don't give up so easily, and just keep pushing forward. And if you do that every single day, you're going to look back, a year from now and be like, wow, like, look how far I came.
Yeah. The skeptics amongst us will hear all of this, and they hear all these things, and they say it can't be that easy. And my advice to everybody that ever listens to this show is that you've heard through me hundreds and hundreds of people that are telling the exact same story. And success does leave clues. Like Robby's telling you firsthand that it was just the amount of fighting, that he would never give up, that he kept trying. And if you just take that advice, apply it, give his program a try. He's not it's not about your money. He'll give you your money back if you don't get any results with it. But I'd feel bad for the person, and I'll throw this back to you one last time, buddy.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for the person that's been through so much in their life that they've given up on the will to try.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad too, but I think also at the same time, like, you have to get rid of, at one point you have to make a decision, right? You have to have that, like, lightning strikes, like, I'm going to make a change kind of thing. Like, and I think sometimes people haven't even hit that yet. I think, like, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom and then bounce. I think that's something too, where I think at the end of the day, you have to get rid of excuses, like, to be successful. One of the big ones is always like, oh, I don't have the money. Well, are you gonna say that until you die? Like, are you gonna finally figure something out? Like, are you just, or I'm too tired? Like, you just have to get out of your own way. Like, and I definitely feel for people. Obviously, people come from all different backgrounds and situations and everything. But, I always say, like, what, there's somebody that is in a way worse situation than you, that was able to get out of it and figure it out. So, you can't feel sorry for yourself. You have to just pick yourself up and just move forward and make it happen. And if I can help you do that, then I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun to hang out with Robby Blanchard today. #1 ClickBank affiliate in the world, makes millions of dollars, and he's giving it all back to help his community. Check out Commission Hero. His notes, his information are all in the show's notes. Robby, thanks for being here today, brother.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.